Welcome back to Trials Rising. There's multiple things wrong with this game at the time of making this video, bug after bug in the game, and your typical developer reply that does nothing but cause more hate towards the game. I've been a big fan of the Trials franchise ever since Trials HD on the Xbox 360, which was released in 2009, around 10 years ago, so don't get me wrong with this video. I've put a small amount of time into Trials Rising, and it really annoys me how the game is developed, or was developed. REDLYNX might as well tell you to get good at the game or don't bother playing it. You pay £20 to play this game, and unless you have a fairly high skill level, you will not get to experience the full career. And in my head, it would be like Rockstar saying, we'll give you 5 chapters of the Red Dead Redemption 2 story, and only after you have a gold medal for every single mission will you unlock the final chapter. It's not fair for people that want to pick up the game and play casually. I mean, not everyone's going to be bothered by this, but they could have made it so that every track eventually unlocks just by leveling up or something, so that if people did want to progress, then they had the option to without having to become much better at the game. I've been looking at leaderboards, and that's the main reason I'm making this video. I use the leaderboards heavily to help me improve my times. I watch the fastest times in the world, as I push myself to get platinum times, like platinum medals on the tracks, on as many as possible, and the drop-off numbers for tracks on this game are ridiculous. Breaking Bad, being the first track you play in the career, has had over 170,000 leaderboard entries, and it gradually gets less and less people as the difficulty of tracks increase, to the point where the first ninja track, the White Belt, has only had a little over 3,000 players complete the track, and literally the next ninja track has had 1,500 people in total on those leaderboards. I know there's a lot of different factors and stuff that come into it, but let's say they make 2 million sales, for example, and only 1,500 people are completing a track because of how difficult they get. It makes me wonder if they actually want people to play this game, or if it should just be a mobile franchise that's free to play, and people jump on it when they're travelling or just have 5 to 10 minutes to spare. Not only that, but the game was delayed by 2 weeks, fairly close to launch for whatever reasons, but has still been released in a horrible state. People are spending days creating tracks to have them deleted for no reason, and because of that, people are obviously not creating tracks, so Track Central is lacking a lot of cool creative content. My inventory items have duplicated to the point where I now have 16 of each of the pre-order bonus items, and I also have 22 different sets of boxing gloves that I don't own. They shouldn't exist in my inventory. I think I've only actually got 2 out of crates. Leaderboard times apparently aren't set if you take longer than 15 minutes to complete a track, so that messes everything up for ninjas. One of the biggest selling points of the game being the tandem bike that requires 2 people to communicate and work together to control the same bike isn't usable unless you're sat right next to the other person controlling the bike with you. Global multiplayer is just boring. There's no Track Central tracks available to compete on. It's literally just career tracks. You race against other players, get some XP, that is it. The game has huge frame drops on some of the tracks, and that's annoying when you're trying to go for good medals. The requirements to unlock the ninja tracks are incorrect on their own website. I've recently made a video about it, and the list just goes on. I've contacted them on Twitter multiple times about bugs, just to be ignored every single time, so I went as far as submitting a report on the Ubisoft website to receive a reference number with a little note saying they're getting high contact volumes, so there will be a delay with the response. Over 2 days later, I finally get a reply simply saying they're aware of the problems, no help, no nothing. I'm interested to hear your thoughts in the comments and whether you agree or disagree with what I've said. That is the end of the video. Thank you for watching.